magical girls, but instead of princesses, princessions? And inside YouTube. Shoujo Shonen with magical girls focused a lot more in idols, but only after a big and greasy wedge of life. By big, I mean that the day by day gets way too much time, almost as if it'd be the focus. But it's not. Then the magical wedge looks like it's the focus, but it's not. It's being an idol. Getting an audience to sell the songs that weren't to be sold and watched on YouTube and Spotify again and again. Of course not. Alicorn Castle, Crystal Heart. MLP has one, but that was already copying the Care Bears. And by greasy, I mean it's not very well done. Too much time in what's not the focus, and they still stretch a lot when they get to what it is. There's half an episode before it, and very little about the magical girls-only world called Lispia. Yes, it's a wonderland with Alice in the name. It could have been interesting, with the whale eating a table and spitting a statue, animals hopping on clouds, but the focus is being an idol. So it's not even Lakitu, it's just cars. Care Bears again. What matters is a live, which is just a live show, and the main gal's friends being able to have a street live, which is just singing and dancing, just not in a stadium. This thinks of make something magical up to sell the songs. The best example of this grease is her becoming a magical girl, creating a brooch, which turns into a bell to turn into a microphone. And then says she'll show her best effort, after transforming with a smile and pretending the sequence they will repeat wasn't there, and then getting angry. At the halfway point, the show is interrupted by another song, a bit more Spanish-oriented, and it gets less worse. It's just, and this is something that goes unnoticed by people who write like this, if the show gets better when you change what's happening, maybe the stuff before isn't that good. I was sure it was just a very plastic, poorly developed slice of life, but then there are no hearts and enemies, the idol takes the headlight, the still images of the audience run, and then, where the idol with the slightly Spanish skirt was, there's a magical girl with a very Spanish skirt, and no one knows who it be. Then the next day, the main gal talks about not looking like an idol, but a princess, and the front talks of rumors of princesses that show up if there are monsters. Rumors, after it happens in front of them. The execution has its gaps, the audience running as if it were serious, and then an animal mascot going funny, or people walking floating on the background, or occasional eyes too far apart, while the unimportant kid passes by with the longest torso in the world. But, if you're not paying attention, it's not so noticeable. It's overall quite pretty, in fact. On the other hand, the idol studies in the next room, but they can't talk to her. But the idol has noticed the two, but ain't no howevers. I mean, if princesses can't be known because but she's paying attention to the two, I have to assume she knows they'll be princesses, so there are armies of Jamawaks attacking, and you don't talk to a potential ally. Why? Of course, I have to comment that Princession maybe comes from procession and princess, but that contributes nothing. And throwing Jama, as in get in the way, at the Jabberwock, even less so. Oh, Jamas work better, and they belong to a poorly done Vegeta, with whom they don't match at all. When you see the padding, the attention to things that aren't the focus, it becomes clear 2 or 3 episodes could have been just one. But then they wouldn't sell the idols. Come kid, make us more money, sign here, and your image is ours throughout the universe.
What about other dimensions? No.
Please don't you forget to subscribe and hit the bell. Nossa, arroto entalado.